After a somnambulant few weeks, Washington is snapping back into action, kicking off what could be the most volatile slice of time in the most volatile period in memory. The United States faces international and domestic turmoil. Thousands of soldiers are beginning 2020 by boarding planes to take them to the battlefields of the early 2000s. And the political climate is as charged as at any point in our lifetimes, with the Senate set to decide on the impeachment of a president for the second time in roughly 2 decades. Congress will begin this decade attempting to reassert itself as a player in American foreign policy. President Donald Trump's Defense Secretary, Mark Esper, is expected on Capitol Hill to brief a legislature split on the wisdom of killing Qassem Soleimani on Iraqi soil. The Trump team will be under intense questioning about whether it is prepared for a conflict with Iran, what its strategy is, and, predictably, why it left Congress in the lurch. This will come days after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said there might be some noise from Iran when asked if Tehran would attack U.S. assets. Despite Trump's supposed disdain for George W. Bush's foreign policy, he'll face many of the same questions his predecessor did about the wisdom of engagement in the Middle East. The pressure on Trump from the Hill is undeniable. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Sen. Bob Menendez DNJ have sent a letter to Trump asking him to declassify the War Powers notification he sent to Congress. The letter, and in the House, Speaker Nancy Pelosi released a Dear Colleague letter Sunday night announcing that the House will introduce a War Powers resolution to limit the president's ability to take military action in Iran. The letter. Domestically, Washington will be consumed with impeachment, which appears to be heading toward completion in the Senate. At the moment, all available evidence indicates that the president will be acquitted, and the process will be over sometime in the next month. But each of the congressional leaders has their own matrix of considerations as the year kicks off. For the immediate future, Pelosi will be the most closely watched of the 4. Even though she's widely expected to send the impeachment articles to the Senate this week, thereby starting the trial, no one has any idea what she's going to do because she has not made her intentions clear. The Speaker's office said no decision has been made on when she will send the articles. One thing that is clear is that she doesn't have a ton of leverage because Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell doesn't tend to give in to pressure almost ever. So, how she gets out of this situation will be interesting to see. Still, Democrats close to Pelosi believe the delay has been successful. They point to Trump's erratic behavior on Twitter and the daylight between some of the president's allies and McConnell over the push to change Senate rules to begin the trial without the House's articles. These Democrats also say they believe they've gotten traction spotlighting the issue of fairness in the trial, something Rep. Adam Schiff D. Califf pushed over the weekend and that Democrats will continue talking about this week. McConnell has said it's time the Senate begins its impeachment role, and has pointed out, again and again, that it is a political process, not a legal one, thereby setting the stage for a set of decisions the chamber is about to make. His next task is to try to strike a deal on the rules with Schumer, which seems somewhat unlikely, in our view, but if he doesn't, he'll push through, acquit Trump and move on to USMCA and confirming more judges. Schumer has spent much of the last few days decrying the coming impeachment process, and has perhaps the easiest decision matrix in front of him. Democrats are out of power, so he'll have to oppose anything that doesn't allow witnesses, and he can't be seen as putting his imprimatur on a McConnell-run process. Look for Senate Democrats to pressure McConnell by trying to pick up 4 other Republicans who could help their cause. But think about it, when have 4 Republicans successfully bucked McConnell on something so high-profile? House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has truly nothing to do at the moment. The impeachment process is out of his hands. He has political issues to worry about, as more than 24 House Republicans have decided to retire. But McCarthy, and House Republicans broadly speaking, see some political upside right now. The GOP's American Action Network polled December 18 and 19 in New York Rep. Anthony Brindisi's, South Carolina Rep. Joe Cunningham's and New Mexico Rep. Xochitl Torres Smalls districts. Nearly 100% of those polled in these 3 Trump districts have heard about impeachment, and more than 56% in each district oppose it. In these 3 districts, the yes votes for impeachment have made Cunningham, Torres Small and Brindisi less popular.